Hi everyone, my name's Kim Cully and I used to be a youth studies student at Nottingham Trent University, and Frances has asked me to just talk about a little about what I do now as my job, just to give you an idea of what you could do once you've left university. What I do now is called a young person's advisor.
Hi, I'm Emily. I'm currently a primary school teacher, but I did study youth studies at Nottingham Trent, so I thought I could give you guys a little bit of an insight to life after uni.
Hi, my name is Angelica and I'm a recent youth studies graduate. I'm currently studying a master's in psychology.
Hi guys, so the course that I've picked is the primary skit with Inspiring Leaders Teach Training.
Hey, I'm Summer. I graduated from Nottingham Trent University last year and completed the Youth Studies course that you're on now. Frances has asked me to talk a little bit about what I do now and after you've left university. So I've been working in a therapeutic children's home.
Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well. I'm a recent graduate from Youth Studies. I graduated with a first. My electives were Youth Justice and Advice and Guidance.
Hi everyone, my name's Eve and I graduated from the Youth Studies course over summer. I'm now a full-time residential care worker in a registered children's home.
Hi, my name's Liv and I'm a recent graduate from the Youth Studies degree. I'm currently employed as a youth support worker at Beeston Youth and Community Centre.
Hi everyone, I'm Lucy. I was also a third year on the Youth Studies course last year. This year I'm doing a Masters in Criminology, so not working but looking for part-time jobs.
When I was leaving uni, I knew I was meant to get stuck into a job that I was going to find challenging and rewarding, and that's exactly what this job has given me.
It's a really good job. So my day-to-day would be sort of go in and they have education during the day, which is on site. So they just go to like the schoolroom and teachers come in. We have breakfast club where we sit there and do like a word search activity, sort of get them ready for the day and have breakfast, of course. We then go for a little morning walk or do some little exercise within the house. They then go into education, they have a break, they have lunch, they have a break. For all meals, we all sit around the table together and eat. After school, they then have activities where we can take them out. We can go to the cinema with them, go swimming with them, go to shopping with them. They all go to therapy, so we support them with that as well. We do key work with them, which is basically on issues that they need help with. So like if they're struggling with their self-esteem, we go through that with them. If they're struggling with self-harm, we help them with that. You just get great job satisfaction out of it. Like it's a really good job. You work together really well as a team, and you get a lot of support as well from like supervisions and stuff like that. So that's good. And you just build really good relationships with them really and end up having strong bonds with the girls.
I first got into the role as it was my third year placement when I was taking the youth work and informal education module. In my role, I support the young people by holding conversations with them, offering advice when they ask for it, regarding topics such as education, friendships, and like arguments. I also carry out activities such as playing pool, holding quizzes, and other activities such as playing bingo, arts and crafts.
I think the thing that interests me most to this job is being able to help young people. I'm quite passionate about making a difference to young people's lives. So I help care leavers get into education, employment. I help with their housing situation, or just any general problems that they have and just need someone to talk to about it. They will come to me and I'll try and help and support as much as I can. I work with a whole range of people. I work with mental health services. I work with college and education providers. I work with the YMCA service quite a lot. I don't know if you guys have heard of the YMCA. It's like a service, it's supported accommodation for young people. And yeah, I work with a whole bunch of services. There's always another worker as well involved in someone's case.
I wanted to become a primary school teacher because I get on well with kids, they seem to like me. I love helping people and teaching people, and I used to teach my sisters, and they're both younger than me, and they always used to say that I was good at explaining things, so that was really empowering.
The reason for why I picked the course was because I wanted to be kind of put into the deep end. I wanted to experience teaching different classrooms, so I co-teach with a class mentor who kind of observes how you teach and then gives you like feedback on whether you've done what you can improve. With the skit training, you get experiences in all the primary years, so you can either pick the early years option or the primary. I went for the primary, so I get an experience in either year 1 or year 2. And with this skit course that I did, I'd say I would split into 3 parts. So one is the actual training that we have from inspiring leaders on the subjects. Then we have the school days where we're in school. You get your practice in person, you get to teach, and you get like a class mentor who gives you observations and says, oh, you can improve this, or behaviour wise you can do this. So that's quite helpful. And then the third is the NTU, and I'd say that they're all like building blocks. The NTU training and the inspiring leaders helps you in classroom, and it helps you implement, and that's the only reason why I've picked the course, in the sense that it's really useful.
And I figured out that I was interested in psychology because of my dissertation. I found out that I was actually quite interested in cyber psychology, but I opted to do a master's in psychology instead because it was quite broad, and I wanted to keep my options open just in case I wanted to switch my career in the future.
Areas. So yeah, this course will open some obvious doors for you, such as youth work, but it doesn't exactly limit you. It provides a wide network of skills and transferable skills to use to your advantage. This course will provide you with a supportive foundation, and the staff, as you know, are very supportive as well.
Now, from the course, I had so much support from all the lecturers. They're the most supportive people, and they really do make you believe in yourself on those times where you're stressed out and you don't. So that is one of the biggest helps from the course. But another one is from the transition and practice module, the CV building, interview prep, all of that, really, really helpful. It makes you feel a lot more confident going into your interviews, which at the time I was thinking, oh, no, this isn't going to help, and I'm going to be nervous all the time. And yes, you are nervous to interview, but that module really did prepare me more than I realised.
Informal education is another one that I did in second year, and we looked at schools and how schools work and organisations, and then we looked at like analysing their policies and the effectiveness of their policies, and that was quite a good one because it just shows you like the school layout. Is the CV I thought was one of the easiest because I was like, oh yeah, I've got it done since GCSE, and then when we actually went through it, it wasn't as good as it was supposed to be, and I just left it last minute and I rushed it. So maybe that's the one that I'd say focus on more, because it had a lot of you had to kind of target, and with that was really helpful because I targeted mine to teaching. So I've kind of said like the skills that I had, and it helped me with my interview because I had that in front of me and I was just reading off there like the skills I have, the kind of experiences I've had previously, and I literally just read it off the CV and the questions that we had for transition and practice. So yeah.
From the course, I'm always using what I've done in my dissertation, what I used on the course in my job, because it's therapeutic children's home. You know, it's a lot of nurturing and therapeutic working. We use a lot of de-escalation and things like that, so the course really helped with that. Like the psychology stuff as well. Informal education, because the young people, obviously because they go to school on site, it's very much informal. It's informal education. Other jobs I've applied for and looked into, I always write about the course and my dissertation on my application. And employers always comment on it. They'll always say like, oh wow, like you did youth studies, like because even though it's obvious, I guess, you're working with young people. If you studied a youth studies degree, they're going to be happy, they're going to want you, you've got the knowledge that they need, even if you don't have the experience. But a lot of employers will be happy to give you that experience.
But when I came to apply for jobs, I felt like the transition and practice module had really helped me, especially the second half of the assessment, such as like the elevator pitch, the CV and the personal statement, as I was not a confident person at all, so I used to struggle so badly in interviews. Obviously as well, the personal statement has given us like the confidence to be able to write a good personal statement and know it's good. So I still use mine whenever I apply for jobs now.
So elements of our youth studies course is helping me now with my masters. So obviously referencing and my dissertation is really helping with my research project this year. But also the things we learn in transitions and practice and skills for practice help with applying for jobs, part-time jobs. Also when writing my CV for my masters, the stuff we did in transitions and practice was really helpful, like skills and attributes, all of that stuff.
But yeah, work placements, interaction with young people was really like a good thing for me, because I already know kind of what young people were feeling, or just how to interact with them generally. Although saying that it's not the way you'd interact with one young person doesn't mean you'll have the same type of communication for another, because everyone's different. And I think another thing about this course that helped me get this job is because everyone on the youth studies course was quite close, and we were quite a small group, and I think we communicated a lot more together, and communication is key in like this job that I do. Yeah, and just learning about all the stuff that related to young people, just like the types of legislation and just everything really. Everything you learn is so useful in any job with like young people. I mean, that's what the point of the course is, because it's a youth studies course. But yeah, it's a really good course, and I'm glad that I did it. And even though
my piece of advice for you guys would be to take every module so seriously, because even the modules in first and second year, which you might not even be thinking about anymore, they all have given you the skills and knowledge that you'll be able to apply to your future work. All I want to say is good luck, and I know you'll do absolutely amazing with the support of each other and all of the lecturers.
So top tip for applying for jobs would be make sure you really work on your CV, make it as detailed as possible without being too wordy, and just make sure you get all of the information in one place.
My top tip for applying for a master's would be to do your research. Look at the different unis, because every uni is different, and every uni has like different requirements or different fees, for example. So I would look at each uni individually and look at what the course actually entails and see if it aligns with what you actually want to do. Also, utilize the employability team. They're actually really helpful. They can look over your personal statements and talk through any of your options if you have any questions or concerns.
So just to recap on some of the tips that I would give you is to follow current interests, to consider postgraduate courses, and to participate in CPD whenever you can. So yeah, thank you for having me on, Francis. And good luck to everyone doing your studies and to your final year. It's not as scary as it seems. But what I would say is, you know, put the time and effort in and you'll get what you deserve. So, thank you everyone. Cheers.
My biggest tip for applying, use Indeed. They've got hundreds and hundreds of jobs, but apply directly through the company's website. That way you're more likely to get a response. So I hope my tips have helped and I hope you all do really, really well.
A top tip for interviews is always to be organised and prepared. So in third year, right from the beginning, I knew what I wanted to do. I was searching how to become a teacher. What do I do? I was on UCAS, applying for Schools Direct, skip routes, and I put together a folder like this. I actually got given this at uni. It's pretty good. It's got like a little calculator in there, not that I use it, but for storing all my certificates and all my interview prep, and I've literally got loads. And this is because I've had a few interviews. Another thing that I found really helpful in interviews is thinking of questions they're going to ask you. So as a teacher, they'll ask you, how would you deal with a tricky parent? They might ask you, can you describe to me an outstanding lesson? They might ask you, can you explain to me the safeguarding procedure? So these are all things that you need to know straight away, right off the top of your head. And for me, if I write it all down, highlight it, do little pictures, go over it, read it a few times, it sticks in my head. And a top tip is to always use Bloom's taxonomy, because they love that in interviews. And if you turn up with your folder and you've got every different interview question mapped out already, even if it's not in your head, even if you know you've written it down, you'll be able to draw some of that information back. And when they ask you the question, you can like sit there and you don't even have to go think about it, because you know straight away, and you can say, well, there was this time when this happened, and as a result of that happening, I did this, and then this, and this is what happened, this is what the outcome was, and they'll be so impressed. So I hope that helps, and good luck. Bye.
My best advice after you leave uni would just be to make sure you keep updating your CV, make sure it's on top form. Indeed, I applied for my job and applied for other jobs as well. It's actually really easy to apply for jobs on Indeed anyway. It's most of the time employers just take your standard sort of Indeed CV and then you do an application form later. So if you make that stand out, that little Indeed CV bit, you're all sorted. But good luck with everything anyway, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your course.
Oh, that reminds me of another thing. Make sure the job you're applying to is like in your area, because I ended up applying for a job, I got an interview, realised it was like an hour away, and then they offered me the job, then I was like, oh, I can't really actually do this, so I had to turn it down. So yeah, make sure you know where the job actually is when you're applying for it. So just remember, you're nearly there, and if you have any problems, go to the lecturers. They're amazing. They're there to support you. Use them. And I know it's difficult with COVID and everything, but it will be so worth it, honestly. You'll feel amazing by the time you've done everything, especially your dissertation. It'll be like the biggest weight off your shoulders ever. Hope this helps. Thanks, bye.